Good morning, everyone. Roger should be in just a moment here.
All right. Good day, everybody. Good day. Hope everybody's doing great. Matt, you missed a really good morning show today. We were on for like an hour and 10 minutes. We were going crazy today.
Nice.
There was so much to talk about. There's too much to talk about. Let me check how YouTube is doing, and then we will move on. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Sorry, folks. I just got in the last 5 minutes, I got 9 emails. Sorry about that. Let me go back to what I was doing, which is going to YouTube. Okay, here we are. And go right here. Hey, Joy. Hey, Bill. Hey, Jody. Hey, Steve. Now let's come up here. I'm assuming that everybody could hear me and see me okay. Just want to make sure all that is kosher. And Matt as well, obviously. Oh, well, I could see Matt okay. I'm
Yep.
muted, so I can't really hear you. But W. Moore, hello, you. Hello, how are you? Catherine, Frank, Jill, Ken. We got Barry. We got Cyrus. We got Tara. We got Sylvia. We got Kurt. I think so, Kurt. I think I'm still in a very choppy mode right now. I don't think we have that much firepower to go higher, but I'm being proven wrong as we speak. Uh, but I'm not really seeing anything pop. I'll talk about that. Oh, my shoulder hurts. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. I will talk about that in a few minutes. Shannon W. Moore, Adam. Oh, Adam pulled a Chevy. Adam, remember what I always say, and folks, this is thank you, David. Thanks, Joy. I appreciate it. Uh, um, what I wanted to tell you guys, 20% of all losses are as a result of trading errors, of buying a call instead of a put or something like that. Usually that's what it is. You go long instead of going short, or you go short instead of going long, or you buy the wrong strike price. But that's 20%. I can attest to that because I was a broker. And as a broker, one of the first, well, the phone lines were recorded. Okay. And number two, um, we had to, so I don't know. I don't think I've ever told you this, how it works. Back in the day, we would have a ticket like this. Just be a ticket like this that would say buy or sell. Let's see if you guys could see. Yeah, you guys could see my page. And it would have like strike price, expiration date, but it would be a piece of paper. It would be about this big. It would have the ticket number, and we would have to timestamp it. We would have a timestamp, and we would timestamp all this. All this was done analog. This was all done. With piece of paper and a pen. And what I would do is I would take the order. The client would say, "Okay, what are you buying? What are you doing? What are we doing here? You're buying this. You're doing that. Okay, what are we doing?" And then we would put buy, sell, and then we would repeat the order to the client. And 20% of the time, 20% of the time, we would get it right all the time because we would, be using a paper and we would be trained for that. But 20% of the time, which is huge, right? The client would get the orders wrong 20% of the time. So don't think it's a hey Naples fan, don't think it's a little thing. No link in one click. Can you let them know that there's no link in one click,
Yeah.
please? Thank you. Or just repost that in for what's her name? Diana. Took the GDX gold small position, recommended 16%. Angie, good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Very happy to hear that. Good, good, good. I'll take it. Take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. And keep an eye on the. Are you stopped out, Matt?
About to be.
Okay. All right. You may want to update folks. I mean, this market is just doing a doozy over us today. I will tell you that. Okay. Let's one second. 1 second, folks. There we go. All right. Richard happens to me so many times. I'm telling you, 20% of the time. So my suggestion is create a check and balance system. Okay, create a check and balance system. Always create a check and balance system. In other words, before you place the order, just double check. Say it to yourself. Repeat it. It's a huge thing that happens. It's a huge thing that happens, folks. Art says, I'm well, Art. How are you doing? I would be much better if the SPY started going down because we shorted it and it's going against us and it's giving me a headache. Art from Valencia, Penny. Penny says have been some rare and spectacular major errors, like millions of dollar error in trade. Oh yeah, there's been some spectacular errors in trading. Books written on it. Robert says I almost did that this morning. Bought a call instead of a put before I caught it. Caught it, not the first. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. I wish I could fix the resolution. Stacy, I can't help you with the resolution. I did. Someone says I did see the. Sam says I did see the link in one click. We'll be starting in just a second, folks. Randy, hello. All right, Mark got it from one click. Ken, hello. Hello, Ken. One click, it's there, it's fixed. Okay, it's in one click. All right, Jesse says I almost made the call versus put. 25% return on. I just want to go through these and we'll start, folks. On the Schwab. Yeah, Matt hasn't given us an exit signal. Matt is managing it today. He's managing the signals. Some email come in with errors. I don't know. GS was fined. Ooh, $1.45 million. My goodness, Dave. That's interesting. For equity orders from 30 billion for reporting errors on 36.6 billion equity. Ooh, wow. Dave, I'm going to repost this. This is too good not to share. I'm telling you guys, people don't pay attention, but it's a big thing. Up with 2,004 word comment on Golden Server, even though we were losing. Up 2,000 with your 4-word comment on gold and silver, even though we are losing on SPY. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Marlon. Sorry about SPY. That's on me. It seems when I get in on trading, it's nothing to do with you. No, Scuba Chris, nothing to do with you. Happened to me with Baba trade today. Luckily made profit. Well, good for you, Vlad. Good for you. Hey, AG, how are you? It's easy to happen when you're dealing with inverse options. Very true. Very, very true. Very, very, very true. Although I got to say, the Vold isn't really doing much today.
No, it's not.
No, no. Matt, do you want to tell everybody? I think this would be great because a lot of the folks here are in the trading zone. Would you like to explain to them why you're holding the short on the call still?
Sure.
This will be a good lesson. I think a lot of people would like to know. So let me just share my screen real quick and show them where we got in and where we're at right now. We got in somewhere, I think around here, right? We thought this trend line was going to hold.
Yep.
Got in right before it, and it went up and went down, and now it's coming off a little bit. And Matt and I both believe it'll come down to the VWAP. But Matt, you take over from here and explain. You can share your screen if you want, or
Sure.
whatever. Please feel free. I'm sure folks would love to hear that, right, folks? Does anybody want to hear why? Going once, going twice. Yes, Matt says yes. There we go. See, we got a bunch of shy people here. See, a lot of people want. Yeah, see, there we go. So, something's going on with my shoulder. Feels.
Okay. The biggest reason I say we haven't gotten out of the trade yet is one, there's been no catalyst for this move up. That's one thing, right? The market moves on catalysts, especially in one direction for a long time. If there's no catalyst, it's usually a recipe for the move to be reverted very quickly. Another thing is that if you look at the Vold, you started rallying, let's say around 10:30 or so. The Vold is still negative on the day. And if you look at volume, I did pick up a little bit, but if you're going to move the S&P or the market up significantly, quickly, you need volume. Either price follows volume, excuse me, volume has to follow the price, or the price will go back to the volume. We've had almost no volume in this move. You can see there's nothing. If you didn't see the top part and you only saw the volume bars, you would not think we'd been going straight up for an hour and a half. Most people wouldn't, because there's no enthusiasm behind the move.
Also, volume is really low.
Yeah, volume is low. There's nothing supporting this move. Eventually, if volume doesn't come in, we're going to slide all the way back down.
Uh, I just wanted to add something. Can you go just so we don't have to go back and forth? Can you show folks your? Can you show folks your? Now, folks, I want to show you this. Let me just make sure that I posted something in the. Okay, I just wanted to let folks in the trading zone know that we're talking about it right now. Also, look at ADD. See, it's at 600. It's telling us that okay. So this is really important. Entry was a while ago, John. We post everything in there. Roger, your post now, Trading Zone. You said Matt was in the pit now. Oh, in the VIP room. Sorry. Thank you, sir. Thank you. See, I made a mistake right there. Sorry about that. Did one of you guys piss off the market makers? It was me right here.
Apparently.
Right. Yeah. So as I was saying, if you look at ADD, you see how it's at 608 right now? Yesterday, for a trending market, the ADD needs to be above 1500. Okay. When the ADD is not above 1500, it means the market breadth is not very wide. What is ADD? ADD is how many stocks are above yesterday's close, right? How many stocks are gapping? How many gap ups or how many up stocks versus down stocks you
Yeah,
have?
it's called the advanced decline line.
Yeah, how many stocks are advancing? So for a real advancing number, you want to see 1500, 2000. That's a run. That means stocks are moving. In this case, there's only 600. It's like 600. It's a very trending type of movement. It's not a directional movement. So there's not a lot of stocks participating in the upside. And in order for remember now, you can argue and you could say, well, Roger, you really don't need a lot of stocks to participate, right? I mean, just get Meta, Microsoft, and Nvidia, and that's all we need, right? It's true. Well, that's why I always watch the mega caps and see what they're doing.
And
And
they're not doing
they're not
anything.
really doing. They're not really
There's
like
mags. That's
yeah,
another
they're not
reason.
really doing
The
anything.
mags aren't behind this at all.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. It's true. You can't. It doesn't mean anything. But it usually what happens is you usually have a broad market or you have a very very narrow market. And in this case, you don't. And if you have a narrow market and stocks are going up with momentum, that usually means the Vold and the ADD are really inclining, and they're not, and the Megs are not doing anything either. So I'm really finding it kind of odd to see why the market is coming up right now. And usually when it does that and nothing else is conforming, and by the way, Vold is not really,
It's still below zero.
well, not only that, I mean, it's just kind of doing this. It's not really a
It's
strong
not even
trend.
above the open.
Right. So, and honestly, I don't really look too much at the Volt, how strong the Volt is. I look at just what it's doing in terms of how it's trending. I know you like to look at it if it's positive or negative. I just look, Jeremiah, if you don't know what the Volt is, I'm not going to explain it right now. It would take me too long. You join the Alpha Zone Pro or Trading Zone and you will know. Okay. But anyhow, yeah, Mike says point of control on the volume is 586. This upward swing makes no sense. Anyway, just wanted you guys to understand it. Matt is watching it. I'm really busy right now with the pit. We got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm giving Matt some swing trades to put in. But he's watching the day trade today, and I figured nobody asked me actually, but I figured you guys would probably be interesting in knowing what's going on. So on that note, and by the way, Kane is going to be joining us very soon as well. Look at that, Matt. We got 480 people here.
Nice.
Yeah, Boyd, nuclear is definitely still moving up. Okay, let me share my screen. Go ahead and unshare your screen. You guys you're welcome. By the way, I'm going to take a quick look at gold. Yeah, it's starting to come back up again. You guys remember for days I've been telling you to start buying it around the 50-day moving average. Hey, Vladimir, good to see you. What level do you look at Vold or okay, Tammy. So there's two different opinions on it, okay? Me personally, here, let me just share my screen. I'm going to show you. Matt and I are of two different minds here, okay? So here's the Vold, okay? I don't care what this number is on the Vold. I just care about how nicely it's trending directionally, okay? So to me, I just want to see a nice smooth trend. This is not a smooth trend right here at all, at all. But I want to see a nice uptrend, like a like a nice 40-degree uptrend, nice bars. That's what I want to see. Um, that's all I care about. Matt likes to look and see whether it's positive or negative. I have never, to be honest with you, he may be right. I've never really paid that much attention to it because I'm always looking at how well it's trending in comparison to the SPY. But, so Matt likes it when it's positive and moving higher, which it's not right now, and it's not even trending. So we're basically saying the same thing. But if it's trending, that's good enough for me. How about no? I don't look at any of that, Michael. The only thing I look at on the Vold. Do you see any call orders levels that are strong? No, I don't. Not at all. Not at all. No, I'm not. If I did, I wouldn't. We wouldn't be in this trade. I really am not. I'm not. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. Nothing is telling. Nothing is pointing to a higher move right now. I mean, I'm talking about. I'm being very broad based. And also, remember, I was showing you this, the 90-day highs. We're not even at 100 here yet. Okay, we're at 89. Let's see, 50-day highs. We're at 114. Okay, fine. We were at 152 this morning. We came in at 152. We're now at 114. 20-day highs, 260. This morning we were at 332. So do you see that? The number of that's and look at ADD. ADD is pretty much saying the same thing. See, if this was at 1500, there
Be a
would be
much
more
different story.
upstock. What'd you say?
It would be a much different story.
Yeah, it would be a much different story because the ADD is pretty much this is this. See how it's 640 or the high is 640? It's echoing. It's echoing the same thing as what I just showed you. That Because if we had 1500 on the ADD, we would have many more stocks gapping or moving higher right now, advancing. And if we had a lot of stocks advancing, then this number would be higher than it was this morning. But this morning we were at 332, and right now we're at 260. Do you guys understand why we're not like getting out? Because it's just like nothing is making sense. Now, ultimately, price controls, right? I mean, ultimately, price controls. Bless you.
Thank you.
But, but I'm not really seeing anything. Volume is not high. Number of stocks advancing is below, not high. Vold is not breaking out. Tick is down ticking now. Tick is actually down ticking. But either way, look, this number right here, seven, not even, never hit 900 ever today. The high was 872. The
That's
bottom end,
yesterday.
hmm?
That's yesterday.
Excuse me, yesterday. Today did not hit 900. This is today right here. You're right. Did not hit 900, one or the other. So there's really nothing moving this market right now. Terrence, that's not an indicator. That's a swift shift in momentum. So my question is, and Philip Morris and gold are moving higher. Gold is defensive and Philip Morris is defensive. So so again, I'd love to. I mean, I would love to tell you that we're really bullish right now. Also, did you guys see the majority? Did you guys see the majority of my stocks? Let me show you something. Again, there's no like hidden agenda or plan here. The, how many stocks did we go long versus short today, Matt?
Two shorts, no
We went
longs.
short two stocks today. Okay. And let me show you let me show you the stocks that I'm adding to my watch list, okay? So add BABA to the short list, not liking how Tesla's looking very much, adding Holex to the short list, adding Dix to the short list, adding CI to the short list, adding HP to the short list, adding IBM to the long list, setting alert at VWAP for Humana. This is all in the pit channel. For a possible short, won't chase, go short BABA, in at 123.58, exit BABA at 123, plenty of meat on the bones, get yours, 122.91, adding Tesla to the short list, adding a comp to the short list. If you see me adding the same, setting VWAP on Tesla for a possible short, notice I'm talking about shorts, not long. The 2-to-1 favoring, Richard says I would say 2-to-1 favoring the downside. Adding CAR to the long list. So I think I've added 2 or 3 stocks to the long list, but I've added probably 10. Adding FI to the short list. Keep in mind, I'm adding to a heck of a lot more stocks to the short list than to the long list. 1045. I don't know most. PayPal hasn't been on my radar at all, which probably means it's just choppy. David, depends on the kind of price I'm seeing. If I'm seeing a short, if I'm seeing good volume and I'm seeing a good steady trend, yeah. If I'm just seeing parabolic movement, that usually means earnings BS. So my point is, my point here is, that I have no vested interest in telling you this. Adding Netflix to our long list. And we'll talk about these right now. But and I'm sure this is what I thought. I thought we were going to go up to here and come down. We broke through here. Now we need to come down to 587.52. Once we come down to 557.52, we can start coming back down this level right here. But to me, this is just a bull trap. I actually would probably go with the GLD commodity. I haven't seen too many stocks show up on my list, Nathan, but I will take a look. What is TLT telling us right now? Let's take a look at TLT. TLT is telling us that it bottomed out here. By the way, notice something. Look at the low on my high volume bars. People ask me, why do you use these high volume bars? Well, let me show you something. The low here is 85. The low here is 85.20. Made a double bottom right here. Now, the question is, are we going to go above the 15-day EMA, or are we going to just kind of fizzle out and come right back down here? The bond market is very choppy right now at best. There's not much going on in bonds. But I like the fact that bonds are up a full basis point today. What I don't like is the fact that consumer staples are up today. And what I don't like is the fact that semiconductors are down today. That's defensive. What I don't like, or it's not what I don't really like or dislike any of this. I couldn't care less. I don't have, okay, I want you guys to understand something about me. I have zero bias. If you told me I have zero bias, zero bias, zero. I could trade short for the next 10 years and I could trade long for the next 10 years and it would make zero impact in my life. So I have zero bias. I have zero political bias. I just don't want like when they do stupid crap, but I don't really have any bias. Remember what I always say? I just wanted to be done with already so we can move on, so we can move on, so we can move. I just care about price action. You're not going to get a political argument out of me. I don't really care, right? Yeah, Richard says that's a sign of a true trader. I don't care. Don't get me involved. So one of the best things you could use me for is to really like look in the mirror and if you have biases, ask me and I'll tell you what I really think, but my point of view has nothing to do with bias. Like let me prove it to you, okay? Most people think it's crazy for Trump to take that private jet. I think it would be retarded for America not to take a $400 million plane from a private from a third party. I think we would be stupid not to do that. Now, I think it should stay in the within the country and not go to his library, but that's not here nor there. See what I mean? I have opinions. Is it going to influence how I think about the market? Is it going to influence how I think about anything else? No. Zero. But you see, it's just information. See what I mean? I don't care, Manish. My point is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care how long it's gonna. He says it will cost $1 billion more to fix that plane. I don't care. I don't care. My point is, when somebody gives you a $400 million thing to your country, you take it. Oh, I don't care. You take it. You take it, and you sell it, or you do, that's an asset. It's an asset. All right. All right. All right. No, of course not. Keep that. It's free money. Exactly. It's free money. Come on, folks. All right. All right. Exactly. Take the. Why would he even think about it? Who would even think about that? Of course, take it. All right. All right. Adam says HTZ, Holex, Spy, $1,900 so far. Holding Spy, Holex for more firepower. Boy, Adam, nice testimonial. I like this. I like this testimonial. All right, guys. So one thing I want to tell you, we have applied materials after the market closes today. We have applied materials after the market closes today. Okay? Very, very, very important. So very, very important. Let me put applied materials here. Let's see. Okay. There you go, Richard. That's the idea. Okay. So let me just really quickly be careful here, Matt. Be careful. Could be a Head and Shoulders here, or it could be something more. But that's a pretty good downside candle. Um, hey, Richard, maybe it'll be the other way around with your trading, right? It does. Let me just put this here. 1 second, folks. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay. Already owe me more than that. No, no, no. We're just getting started, Richard. We're just getting started. Okay. So, few things I wanted to talk to you guys about. I have an agenda. I actually wrote out an agenda. trying to be organized, and we got Kane coming in here in just a bit. Where is my agenda? I've been so busy looking at trades this morning. Okay, so we're going to have Walmart earnings came out. What was the big story? What was the big story of Walmart? We're going to have the tariffs are going to have an impact. The tariffs are going to have an impact. What is Walmart doing? By the way, I didn't sell my Walmart. And remember, this is an investment trade. It seems like Walmart has priced in most of this. Okay. It seems like whatever the news is coming out, the market is doing a fairly good job of pricing it in. Also, I want to bring something to your attention. I didn't expect the market to go down in the next 5 weeks or so. All I said was I'm expecting the market to consolidate here. Consolidate. Yes, I did say that. Now remember, I didn't mark the spot here. I marked the spot right here, just to show you so you could see that I'm not messing around, that I actually did that here. Where's that damn line? Where is it? I'm very busy today. I could have swore there it is. See that? See where I drew the line? See that? Not here, up here. I never said we're going to break down, hit the lows, go down to the world's going to. I never said any of that. All I said was, before anything next, we're going to consolidate around here. See where I drew the line? Right here. This is where we're at, right here. That's the next step, right here. So I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting a Armageddon, so to speak. Okay, I'm not expecting anything like that. All I'm expecting, folks, is the market to consolidate around here, around these levels. Okay, so don't get too excited and start creating these plans that we're going to go back down, or we're nowhere near there. The earnings were better than expected. The market thank you, Richard. The market is appraising the news. It's pretty much priced in right now, as far as we know. The Fed is starting to. By the way, not getting political here at all, but remember what I said to you, folks. This is important. I just remembered what I wanted to tell you earlier. Do you remember? When was it? Was it last Friday? When did the Fed make an announcement? Last Thursday? When was the announcement? Matt, do you remember?
It was last.
Was it a week ago? Can you guys
Yeah.
tell me when the announcement was that they're keeping rates steady? I want to tell you something sneaky here. Come on, guys. You guys remember this. How come you guys all got quiet all of a sudden? When did the Fed keep rates the same? Richard says Wednesday. Okay, so it was a week ago. Let's just say a week ago, okay? It doesn't really matter. Last Wednesday. Okay, I told you something very important. I said something very, very important here. I said they're going to go one of two ways. Things are not looking bad, but they may. Things are looking bad. Remember that there's no dark clouds, but we're going to keep an eye out for them. There are some dark clouds. Remember I told you there was two scenarios, and I actually gave you the scenarios right now that I'm saying. And I actually am using the exact terminology that I was using. I said they're going to go this way or this way, right? And it's very subtle. It's very subtle. And what did they say? No. There may be some horizon. There may be some clouds on the horizons, but we don't see them yet. But if we do, we'll react. Have you noticed something interesting? How many days? No obvious problems, right? Nothing foreseeable. Have you noticed what the Fed's how they changed their tune yesterday? 6 days later. Do you remember? Now look at what they said yesterday. That's exactly what I said. Now, a week later, they wanted to finish that with their statement. So people do, and now what are they saying? What are they saying now? Now they're saying, yes, is a very serious all of 5 days ago, 5 days ago, it wasn't a big deal. Now, 6 days later, Fed is tariffs is a problem. Tariffs is a problem. It wasn't a problem 6 days ago. It could become a problem 6 days ago, but now it's a problem. Just wanted to kind of point that out to you. Do you guys? All of a sudden, the clouds appeared. Yes, Venkat. All of a sudden, the clouds appeared. All of a sudden, the clouds appeared. All of a sudden, it just took 6 days, but they appeared. I mean, the economy really changed in the last 6 days, right? Including the weekend. Just saying. Just saying. I thought that was. I needed to tell you that because I thought that was funny. Right? They needed more information, but all of a sudden they don't need. Well, I'm not even being sarcastic. I said they're going to say no clouds, some clouds. They said no clouds, but there's clouds now. 6 days later, there's clouds. I just think it's hilarious. All right. Let me give you guys my stocks and everything that I'm not talking about today, I'll talk about tomorrow because I know Kane's going to come in here and I want to make sure he gets a chance to speak. So, bear stocks. CI, let me give you the options for these. Oh, you'd probably do a spread, buy the 305, sell the 300s, do this for $2.50. Yes, I can lower my option chain, of course. Sorry about that. But again, I just thought that you guys would find that funny, right? Yesterday, last Wednesday or Thursday, not a cloud in the sky. Now all of a sudden, I was like, what? Higher for longer. Powell at 8:40 in the morning. Talk about politics, right? Scoundrels. HP. This stock needs to break a little lower, but I do like it. Right here, 20 put, 36 days out. What did the Fed see to change there too? Nothing, Ken. Nothing happened. If anything, the PPI was better than expected. The numbers were fine. Nothing changed. And that's why I think it's so funny. That's why I think it's so darn funny. Right? I just wanted to point that out to you. 6 days ago, 6 freaking days ago, not a cloud in the sky. Today, I mean, yesterday, not today, yesterday and today. Powell today, yesterday, two of his cronies. I just thought it was really, I just think that was really interesting. Well, Nathan, it's just so interesting that it's so subtle, but it's a big, big change. Because they didn't say there were clouds in the sky last Wednesday, but all of a sudden there's clouds in the sky. It's just very subtle, that's all. And if you don't pay attention, you don't notice these things, but hey, that's a whole different path, you know? Yeah, ooh, Matt, look at the Volt.
Yeah.
You may want to update folks on the trade. AKAM, I'm still bearish on this. 22 days out, 29 days out. $71 delta, 83 put. I like this stock for a short, but I would never buy put here. I would wait for it to get to the VWAP. And I would go 29 days out, 72 or oh, you probably want to do a spread. If you're going to do a spread, you don't have to go that far. Go about 15 days out, buy the 165 put, sell the 160 put. You got to do this for less than $2.50. Michael, it's May 30th for FI. Look at that. We got 90 Matt, we got 97 people in the YouTube and we got 467 here. We got 500 and that's good. It's doing really good. I like that. Very, very nice. Okay. When there's smoke, there's fire, smoking hot PM calls. Oh, a lot of people were concerned about Philip Morris, and I said just wait for a sector rotation to happen, and it looks like we're having a sector rotation. All right. Can somebody help Paul? Tell him what the sell side was. I'm going to move to the long side right now. Okay. Can you go ahead, Matt, and get Kane to come into the room? I don't know where he is, but or maybe upgrade him if he's here already. Oh, Kane's. Oh, Kane, you're here. Can you get him upgrade him? There he is. Yeah,
Got
look at
it.
Vold. Poom poom. I'm telling you, this is not very good market action. There is Kane.
Hey guys.
1 second, my monitors, my computer's muted. Can you say that again?
Oh, hey, can you guys hear me?
I could hear you perfectly. I could hear you
Okay.
perfectly. Let me turn it down a little bit. How are you doing, Kane?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We're babysitting this short position in the SPY right now. That's against us a few points or
Yeah,
a few
okay. Yeah.
hundred points on this. But I'm telling you, see, the thing is, everything is pointing to a very choppy day. Nothing is really pointing to a trend, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very uncharacteristic. I mean, I don't like cutting a I don't want to get rid of of a trade because if a market's choppy, we're probably going to revert to the VWAP. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just talking to myself. I'm going to let Matt deal with it. But I'm almost done going through my longs. You actually came in perfect time for my longs. And then maybe you can share with folks some of the stuff on the weekly cash flow and some of the things we'll be talking about at 1 o'clock. And Matt can post a link as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So the first stock is Car, Avis Budget. Now, Avis is not Hertz. Don't confuse the two. They're two different companies. Okay, they're two different companies. Um, we'll ask Kane what his thought of the SPY is today. Sure. Let me just finish this. So I like Car. I don't have a lot here. I only have a few. So we'll go 29 days out. We'll go to a delta of 71. We'll go right here to the 98 calls. And Netflix is starting to turn around. Look at that. I really like Netflix actually quite a bit. I would obviously not chase it right now, especially with this cockamamie market. I would put an alert right at the VWAP, which I'm going to do. I probably already have it, but I won't. Crossing down price history, yes, or actually crossing up prices. Okay, I like this a lot. I would not touch this unless you're going to do a spread. I'd go about 15 days out for a spread. Go to the 1175s and then sell the 1185, and I would do this for less than $5. But I do like Netflix here. Does look great. Then I like GE. It's a little overextended, so I would pause a little bit on this one. A lot of stocks are overextended, but volatility has been pretty consistent, but it is a little overextended. So I would hold off on this. TJ Maxx, I like TJ Maxx right now. I'm not loving this. It's a lot of chop, but definitely not a day trading stock. But we're not in a position where we can be very choosy right now. So 29 days out, 74 delta, about 129 calls. Just got a couple of more to go. TD, I don't know if you noticed this, Kane, but Canada is starting to rally. A lot of Canadian assets are starting to rally. You folks, if you guys trade the Canadian dollar, you might have noticed that as well. But this is not the only one. There's several Canadian assets that are moving right now.
Hmm.
Um, I would look at an 86 delta, 6250 call. This is not a fast moving asset, but I'm in love with the compression. I love compression breakouts. Compression breakouts are my favorite patterns. Those are the ones I tend to always go back to. Richard says, I took a Netflix spread runner from last week, off another $300. Good. Richard says, I finally figured out Pro Trader Scanner with the help of Cam. Yay! Let me post that for Cam, Richard. He'd love to hear that. There we go. Always nice to hear that. This volt is just not contributing. Um, and then HEI, and this is the last one actually. And also notice why I like this stock. It's a big, if you look at the weekly, you'll see it clearer. Nice little breakout above this area right here. But it's breaking out of this channel. It's not really overextended. It's still near the 8-day. And again, I haven't checked the liquidity on this thing, which probably sucks. Yeah, it's not great. But again, if you can do a spread, go 36 days out on it, probably want to ignore this. But it's very similar to GE, just to give you some feedback. Okay? All right. All right. Kane, two things for you. First, tell us your opinion. Let me pull up the SPY. This is the SPY right here. We went short around somewhere in this area right here.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a day trade. It was a day trade. We went short around here, thinking that it was just going to, that this trend was going to. Here, let me show you a picture of what I thought was going to happen. Here it is. That's the 5 minute,
Okay.
and then we broke this, and we went up to here, and I think we're going to come right back down because the vol, the ADD, nothing is really moving, and I think this is also earnings. During earnings, we get a little too much volatility. So, folks here said, "What do you think about this? Do you think it's going to continue moving higher, or do you think it's going to come back?" So, I figured since
Well,
folks asked, you might as well give us your opinion.
yeah. So this morning it just looked like a whole bunch of chop, and I thought that if anything, if it was going to move directionally, then it would most likely go to the downside, especially where we are on the daily chart. It's like we're kind of in this consolidating above the MA 200, and I think we need maybe a little bit of pullback into the MA 200 before we decide a direction.
Yeah.
But so this movement upwards is a little bit surprising, but there's no
Mm-hmm.
volume to it.
No.
I mean, we're very low volume today, so yeah, I think it could easily come back down. It's just how much time do we have left in the market and
Yeah,
for it to
that's
come back down?
yeah, and pretty strong during lunchtime too. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking that it would go back to the view up.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to update folks with your opinion since you're the one that's calling the shot on this trade?
Nope. No, nothing's changed. It's lunch hour, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's nothing going on really.
No, and volume is very, very low. All right, let me unshare my screen. Let me unshare my screen. And a lot can, especially with this cockamamie market, a lot can happen in a couple hours. Kane, do you want to share the screen? Do you want me to share the screen? Do you want to talk a little bit about weekly cash flow?
Sure. You can share the screen.
Okay. All right, I'm sharing the screen. So tell us about the program. Tell us what we can expect to hear at 1 o'clock. I'm looking forward to this. It's a great selling program and it's a great performing program. How has the performance been?
The performance has been very good. The last few weeks have been a little bit more of a challenge, but the great thing about the program is that we put safety first so that when we lose, then we don't really lose all that much compared to our winners, and it's very easy to recover. So we that's what we've been doing. When we take a loss, we recover very quickly. And when we take a loss, it's not that big. So it's a very safety first oriented program. What we're seeing right now is that once we broke above that S&P the S&P 500 broke above the MA 200 over there, is it didn't really move all that much after that. We just kind of sort of floated and drifted a little bit upwards. And so that is indicating a lack of direction, and our VIX is now right around 20, I think, today. It's
I think
probably lower. It's
it's
probably like 18 or
1826,
so.
but it's heading there. But also look at the Dow. Dow couldn't get above the 200-day.
Right. And so we're seeing a lot of the indices and a lot of the markets looking like they're just chopping sideways. And that
Yeah.
is perfect. That is perfect. When we're trading over the weekend, we're not going directional. We're just looking for that chop to that indecision and moving sideways. And so this is the perfect environment for the weekend income, and it's I'm excited about this week.
Yeah, and also just wanted to add, folks, we had we because of the gap up because of this. Here, let me show you. Because of this right here. See this gap right here? Implied volatility went up really high on a lot of the options. A lot of the options, a lot of the assets are overextended to the. We went from being oversold to being overbought really quick. I think that's the best way to put it. And a lot
Yeah.
of the options are still the volatility is coming down, but a lot of these options are still in trend mode. And because they're in
Hmm.
trend mode, their premium is more expensive. And
Yep.
that makes Kane's job much, 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 much easier. Okay?
Yeah.
Much easier. It's a different program. It's not weekly cash flow. It's Kane's pro. It's what is the proper name of it?
It's the Weekend Trading Club. And
Weekend Trading Club,
so,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
we
both of
trade
our
on,
programs are called weekly or weekend, so it's confusing.
yeah,
Yeah, Weekend Trading Club, folks. We're talking about Weekend Trading Club, and it's actually it's I would call it a non-directional trade.
right. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a non-directional trade. And right now, folks, I'm going to be honest with you. There's not a lot of, less than 100 stocks breaking out, volatility above 20, Vold going ape wire. It's just right now we have a very challenging time with directional bias. So Kane and I, we want you guys to come, all join us at in about 8 minutes. We're going to go to the other room, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We haven't done this in a couple of months now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a little bit.
And Matt just posted a link. Do you want to say anything else, Kane, before we tune out and start heading to the other room? Any other words of wisdom for the folks up here?
No, well, I mean, so there's a lot of confusion when people talk about volatility. There's realized volatility and there's implied volatility. Or some people will measure the realized volatility based on ATR, or they might use historical volatility. And the big difference between the two is that one is observed in the markets and the other is simply implied and it is completely what the market maker thinks is going to happen going forward. So when you have a mismatch between what is being realized and what is being priced into the options, then you've got to be careful and you got to be say, hey, I need to be careful if I'm buying options or if I'm selling options. Is it the right environment for me to buy or to sell? And right now, where we are right now is that the implied volatility is higher than the volatility that we're actually seeing in the markets. And that's when these types of strategies, these non-directional type of strategies, work the absolute best.
I'm just finishing writing something, Kane.
Yeah.
All right. All right, folks. On that note, just gave you a little trade just gave you a pit trade. See, I can
Nice.
multitask. And Kane, I'll see you in just a few minutes in the other room. And Matt already posted the link. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Thank you, Kane. I really appreciate
Yeah.
you coming out here. I know you're a busy guy, but people really want to hear from you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. See you
All
guys
right.
soon.
We'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Hi, everyone.